What was like a party? The atmosphere in the cemetery was like a party. Where was the atmosphere like a party? In the cemetery, right? The cemetery. The atmosphere was like a party in the cemetery. Was the atmosphere like a party at my house? No, not at my house. The atmosphere was like a party in the cemetery. The atmosphere was not like a party in my house. So the atmosphere was like a party. There were people everywhere. Families were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Where were the families sitting? Around the graves, right? They were sitting around the graves. Who was sitting around the graves? The families, right? The families were sitting around the graves. Were they sitting around the trees? No, they weren't sitting around the trees. They were sitting around the graves. So, where were they sitting? Around the graves. Families were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Were they sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors? Yes, they were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Were they sitting around the graves of their friends? No, not really. They were sitting around the graves of their dead ancestors. Who was sitting around the graves? That's right. Families were sitting around the graves. Whose graves were they sitting around? Whose graves were they sitting around? Yes, their dead ancestors. Their ancestors. Their ancestors' graves.